Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm your captain, guide, and friend, Dalton Rutlinger. Welcome back to Sailwind. In this episode, we're going to be beginning the very long process of crossing the ocean for the first time in this playthrough, because I have actually found missions that are going to the Firefish Town, which is actually where I've been wanting to go, or at least within the region. That way, we can get the other ship, the Jong, I believe it's called. And while we're going, I'm also going to test out another mod, which is the towing mod. It's going to allow me to tow the cog behind us as we're traveling along. Let me pause for a second. I'll show you guys exactly where we're heading. Right, so here we are down here in the Fordation region. I am aware the placement of the islands is not accurate at all whatsoever, but I basically just made it to where, I knew the general layout of where we were. So we zoom out a bit more. We can't zoom out anymore, but we go a bit up to the north. This is Firefish Town up here. And as you can see, I've actually got Gold Rock City, and I believe this is actually supposed to be Oasis. So I'll just go and rename that. There we go. And yeah, so as you can see, we've got a pretty long journey ahead of us. And I imagine it's probably going to be quite boring. Unless something of interest pops along like a shipwreck or maybe some of the whales or something. But I've seen the whales so often now that they've kind of lost their charm on me. So, yeah. So, down here is a bunch of missions that we're going to be taking. I actually have several missions that are going to Firefish Town. I also have a lot of coffee. I've got a bunch of tea. I've also got... what is this stuff called? Oak stuff. I forget the actual name, but you can use these for temporary hull repairs, which might come in handy on the way. And yeah, more tea. And yeah, I also have just gone ahead and just stocked up a bunch of food instead of relying on the cooking and everything. So yeah, let's just go ahead and get started. I think we'll start off with just raising up or lowering even the, or you know what, this will work too. And I think just as I'm starting to cast off, the wind actually just died down, so that's just fantastic. Wouldn't you believe it? Yes, I also tried using the dinghy, but the dinghy has been bugged. I was gonna just attach the dinghy to the back of the boat here, but it wouldn't work. The game freezes every single time that I hop inside it, so something's broken somewhere. Now, I need to be very careful and make sure the cog does not actually hit the side of the brig here, because all the shelving that I have in place will actually attach itself to the hull of the cog, and I do not want that. I wonder if I could actually, like, pull the brig behind the Jong once I get to that. That could be kind of hilarious, because the Jong is actually quite a bit bigger than the brig. In terms of height, at least. Like, it's definitely got a lot more layers to it. A lot more floors. I think the brig might be longer, though. I don't know. I guess we'll find out whenever we finally get to Cassia Bay. All right, I'll see you guys whenever we finally get moving. Oh, I think we actually have some potential wind here. I also installed these, what do you call these sails? I have completely forgotten what you call these sails. They're kind of like a mixture of square sails and gaff sails, like mixed into one. Just because I like this look. This sort of schooner look. I really like this look. Alright, where are we going? I'd rather be heading more to the northeast, if at all possible. Or northwest, excuse me. Although I think north by northwest would actually be better looking at the actual interactive map. Right, are you still tugging along? Yes, you are. And the wind died down again. This is gonna be annoying. This is gonna be very annoying. We'll see how the wind changes once we get out into the open ocean, because I suspect we might just happen to be like in more of a dead area here. Maybe things will be different once we reach our destination. I can only hope. Actually, you know what? I think I'd rather... What? Okay. The mod seems to be working okay, as far as I can tell. Alright, I'll join you guys again once we get underway, because I suspect the game is going to be a pain in the butt, as it usually is. I really wish the wind would make up its mind. Sometimes it wants to blow, other times it doesn't. It's really making life complicated at the moment. If memory serves right, like once we get past like whatever part of the square that Fort Ashman is on, we typically don't have a lot of dead zone. Go ahead and turn that on. And I just thought of a use for the cog while I'm out here at sea. What I can do is I can actually use that to put all my junk on. Like, say whenever I get done with this crate, I can just go ahead and put the crate on the cog and sell all the empty crap once I get to wherever I'm going. Yeah, I haven't really used these sails that much in the past, and I wanted to try and use them while we're on this journey, because I think they look pretty cool. They look pretty decent. They might not be the best in the world, but I guess we'll see. I kind of prefer them to the look of the Latine sails in this region. I tried using a Latine sail on this thing. It did not look right. So I guess we'll see how things go once we get out into the open ocean. We should still have like 40 plus days. Yeah, 41 days to deliver most of this stuff. Where are the tools that are actually... Ah, yeah, 40 days to deliver those. I I think all the mission stuff is actually back here in the back. The cheese is doing 41 days. All right. I don't remember if that was like all the reputation I could actually like use, or if that was all the missions that Fort Aestrin had available. And the wind is dying down again, because of course it is. Feels good to finally be heading out to open sea, though. It's gonna be a long trip, but I'm looking forward to it. I've got some McDonald's coming on the way through DoorDash, which I don't use DoorDash super often. I kind of just reserve it for in the event that I've got something like this going on where I can't really get away from the computer for a while. And I just got paid today, so there's that. But I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving as I'm recording this. It is the day after Thanksgiving. My Thanksgiving turned out to be pretty small, all things considered. I just kind of went up to my grandparents and with my girlfriend, and we hung out with them. We played Hearts together, the card game. And usually at my grandparents, there's like a huge family get-together, but I guess we're reserving the family get-together for Christmas. But yeah, if you're traveling, safe travels to you. Hope you had some fantastic time with your family. Hopefully there's a rule where you guys like don't use your phones or something. We can actually, you know, spend some time with each other. Let's bring you in. It'll be interesting to see how this holds up once a storm rolls in. That's not what I wanted to do. Right, so if you actually so much as touch, whoa. I don't really care if I lose the cog, but I would like to keep it around just for the sake of actually having it. We can definitely see she's quite a bit faster. Gosh darn it. Of course, she's completely empty, whereas the brig is very much not. Come on, come on. There we go. I'm just trying to give her enough leeway that she's not gonna like crash into the back of the brig in the event we get into a storm or something. Let's see here. Alright, I think finally, thankfully, we might actually be on our way. See, we have a bunch of goods, a bunch of tools, some mail. Altogether, it's a fairly heavy load, but nowhere near as heavy as having that set of 11 marble on board the ship we had that one episode. That was a bit to the extreme. But if we get into some bad weather and it looks like the cog is going to cause some problems, I'm not opposed to just cutting the ropes and letting her go free. I think that's as far out as I can let her be. Yep, there we go. I mean, you can definitely see how much the waves affect her, whereas the waves don't, like, hardly affect the brig, like, at all. How does this look inside the cabin? Just having this rope kind of slicing its way through the air. Looks kind of silly. Oh well. Oh yes, I also moved the stove and the smoker back here, just because I figured it made a bit more sense. Oh, the waves are starting to get pretty choppy, aren't they? I'm very tempted to just like jump onto the cog and just kind of see what it's like to be pulled by the brig. Like, you know what? Why not? Woo! Ah, come on. There we go. How cool is this? This might actually be like screenshot worthy. Alright, let's make our way back to the boat. Ooh! I was thinking maybe we weren't moving that fast, but we're moving fast enough that I'm struggling to catch up. And usually that's not the case whenever you're swimming. Usually you can catch up to your ship quite easily, but not in this case, apparently. Actually, you know what? I'm going to try and steer clear of Firefly Grotto over here as much as I can. All right, well, you know what? I'll join you guys here in a little bit whenever we get a bit further out to sea, I think. All right, we are finally a bit of a ways out to sea. It's all the land masses are still pretty much more or less in sight, but we're definitely looking at islands from an angle we haven't seen yet. Like that Sunspire over there. And then you've obviously got Mount Malefic in the background there. But we are very much headed on our way out past the island chain now. The cog is still tagging along behind us. The wind keeps dying down, like, annoyingly often. And I'm starting to wonder if I'm ever going to be able to finish this challenge of just getting out to sea. If the wind doesn't stop changing direction or just dying down. Right, so we just got damaged by a whale. So that's just great. I might actually have to... I'm probably going to have to, like, reload from a different save, because, as a matter of fact, I'm just going to do that. Because that whale royally just screwed me right there. Yeah, that was fantastic. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. some of you might be wondering why I reloaded the game. Well, it's because this stuff that I used to repair the hull is only a temporary fix. This stuff wears out over time, and I don't have enough with me to actually, you know, survive the voyage. And I just don't really feel like dealing with damaged hull for like the next 10 hours that I'm going to be dealing with this nonsense. So, and reloading the game set me back like 5 minutes, so that's great. The voyage was already going to be long enough as it was. I don't need this nonsense added on to it. Uh-oh. Just out of nowhere, the storm hits. And it's a bad one, too. But I think we're light enough. I think we're light enough with our cargo, and our sails are the type that shouldn't catch that much wind. So I think we should be relatively okay. The one thing I'm not so sure about, though, is going to be how much water the cog takes on. Because the cog could take on a decent amount of water and then sink unexpectedly. But it's just kind of one of those things at the moment where if it happens, it happens. Should probably also keep an eye on the situation on my own boat as well. I love these bilge pumps. They make dealing with the flooding cargo area so much easier. Right, we seem to be kind of emerging out of the worst of it. I think the storm's actually going to pass back there. So I think we might actually be in a situation where we just managed to just barely dodge the storm. The storm at its height, I suppose. The thunder is not very, does not sound very good. Has anybody ever actually, been, like, literally jump scared in real life by a loud strike of thunder, just, like, right over your house? Like, you know, it's the dead of night, you're sleeping in your bed, and it's all nice and cozy. You're kind of listening to the rain hit against the window or whatever, and then just out of nowhere, you're just scared half to death because a lightning strike just happened like right over your house. Oh, whoa. Holy crap. Look at the size of these waves. Oh, the poor cog. The poor cog is not enjoying life at the moment. God, these waves are massive. Holy crap! Oh. None of that, please. Alright, let's try and keep moving forward as much as we can. Thankfully, I think the storm is more or less over. We're running into all kinds of problems. Yeah, the storm's all the way over there now. We're running into all kinds of problems, and it's... We haven't even left the Eastern region yet. Yeah, I wonder if we'll bump into Happy Bay and some other islands along the way. Like that one island that's out east of Happy Bay. Are we still heading in vaguely the right direction? Could turn a bit more this way, I suppose. Well, at least we know for a fact we're finally leaving those islands behind us. Alright guys, we are very much officially leaving Mount Malefic behind us. Won't be too long from now, you won't even be able to see it on the horizon. You might still see the smoke, but we won't be seeing the mountain itself. All we have ahead of us now is, as far as I know, just wide open ocean. Until we get to latitude, let's see, what was it? Latitude 29. and then we start heading to the east. If the wind doesn't continuously die on me. Let's see here. We still have 38 days. So I think we can make it, but this journey is going to be basically more or less the exact same distance as it would be from the Firefish Lagoon all the way up to the Eastern region in the base game. So it's gonna be a while, especially if the stupid wind keeps dying on me like this. I don't know why he keeps doing this. It's incredibly annoying. At least in the base game, you didn't have to deal with this nonsense. I get that in real life you'd have to deal with it, but in a game, it's a little frustrating. Wouldn't be so bad if the wind just kind of died down a little bit. Like maybe instead of an actual wind, it was just more of a breeze. But I don't know if we're going to be able to make it on time with this constantly happening. Thankfully, most of the goods are actually just trade goods, so there's no real time limits, but I still have at least some sort of a reputation I have to maintain whenever I'm delivering these cargoes. And I don't know what to expect whenever we finally get to the Firefish Lagoon, which is why I brought the cog. Because the Firefish Lagoon has a lot of tight areas and a lot of shallow areas, and I kind of figure maybe it'd be better to use the cog as a scouting ship instead of taking in the brig into very uncertain areas. At some point or another, I'll also have to go in and fix the dinghy mod, because I'd like to have the dinghy on the back of my boat. It just makes sense that I would have a lifeboat. No, the wind is completely... It's either dead... No, it's dead. I was about to say, it's either dead or it's blowing directly in my face. But thankfully, I think whenever the... Yeah, we do still keep moving forward, at least somewhat. But obviously, you're not going to get anywhere in a hurry at this sort of speed. So I'll try and keep this episode as interesting as I possibly can. I might have to split this journey up into several different parts. We'll see what happens, because I can't guarantee I'm going to maintain my attention on this journey all day, because it's already like 3 o'clock, and I started this journey around noon. And Mount Malefic is still within viewing distance. What about Sunspire? Can we see Sunspire? Yes, but just barely. Whoa, hello. I think we're heading into a fog. Oh yeah, it's definitely getting misty out here. Well, this is going to slow down progress for a while. I had it going good there for a bit. But I guess what I can do is, because the wind's not going to be blowing so good, is just go and tighten the sails a little bit. We should still be able to make at least some bit of progress, but... oh, wow. Holy crap. It's definitely going to be slow going. I do want to see this from the perspective of what we've got going on over here, though. Oh, yeah, look at that. That is pretty freaking cool. If I do say so myself, which I do. Wait, you know what? Just to be on the safe side, I think I might actually go ahead and... What is that? I just saw something over there. No, there's definitely something over there. What? Oh, there was something. I'm going to lower down the fore and aft sails. See if maybe I can get an idea of what I'm seeing up here in the crow's nest. No, I can't even see the cog from up here. Oh, God. Imagine, like, actually being up here in a situation like this in real life. This would be horrifying. Maybe what I was seeing was just a glitch or something. Perhaps some type of bug. I don't know. I guess we'll find out in the event the fog ever clears. Alright, well, the wind has finally picked up again. It took like all night for it to do it, but I can't help but notice that I'm only using the main sail at the moment. And it feels like we're still going by pretty quick. Maybe an experiment I need to do whenever I get the chance is just try having like one main mast with this type of sail on it. And we can rely a bit more on like the stay sails or something. There is a chance that sort of build could work. Never really thought about it before though. But I would definitely like to get more speed going while we have the chance. All right, I'll swing this one out a bit wider. All right. There we go. That should be fine-ish. Whatever I saw out in the distance, it seems to have just been like an illusion. Because I don't see anything. I believe that to be Mount Malefic, or whatever's left of it. Just kind of peeking its head at us over the horizon. Okay, I think maybe I should actually kind of loosen out the mainsail here. Let's try that. See how that does. I'm trying to just stop that awful flapping noise. I can even still hear it here inside the cab. Problem is, I don't know what sail is actually causing it. Yeah, it could have been all three of them. Of course. Does kind of feel as though the wind is trying to blow in my face again. Or indeed, it's just going to stop again. You make good progress, and then all of a sudden, the wind just decides to stop blowing. I feel like there's going to be a theme throughout this entire video. Okay, whales, do not hit my boat. Please, for the love of God, do not hit my boat. Climb up here so I can keep an eye on them. The problem is, there's always more than one. Right, so there's one over there somewhere, which I think I can actually... Never mind, maybe I can't. But there's one over here, there's one over here somewhere. Unless maybe that was the same whale. I haven't heard this one over here for a while, so... Maybe there was only just one whale. Banzai! Oh, no, there is in fact another one over there. I guess he was just holding his breath for a while. Alright, well, I'll let you guys know in the event we ever come across anything interesting again. I suspect we probably will not, though. I feel like it's going to be a pretty boring trip from here on out. But I'll let you guys know if anything interesting pops along. Well, I have completely lost track of how many days we've been out here, but as you can see, Mount Malefic is no longer in sight. As a matter of fact, if I come up here, seagulls? I was about to say, like, if I come up here, you're going to see that there's nothing in the distance, but there's seagulls here now. I still don't see anything. It's kind of weird that we're this far out at sea, and we've got this many seagulls following us. Anyway, I wanted to use the quadrant tonight to figure out where we are in terms of longitude. Or not longitude, latitude. So far, there's not really been a lot happening. And preferably, it would stay that way. But how long have we been wanting this? Like, to be traveling out at sea with a giant crow's nest, able to see over the waves. And to top it all off, I'll be completely clear of all the sails, so I will actually be able to take a clear star reading here. Of course, slight problem is there's not really a light down here or up here. So it looks like latitude 24. Latitude 24 or 23. Probably actually latitude 23. Which it's not great. Means we've still got minimum of another 500 miles to go. But then we also have to worry about where we are in terms of longitude. I am sailing more to the northwest. I'm starting to wonder if perhaps it might be better to just start sailing like straight to the north. I'll see where we are in terms of longitude tomorrow afternoon, and we'll see where we are and make any course adjustments we need from that point on. What is that? That might have just been a seagull. Probably nothing to worry about. But I'm liking this. I'm liking the uncertainty of not knowing where I am. Hello there, Cloud. You kind of came out of nowhere, didn't you? And I'm also liking these sails. I'm kind of liking them over the regular old gaff sails. They work really well as gaff and square sails at the same time. Alright, everybody. It's just about noon, which means we can take our reading for the day. I'm going to come up here so I don't have to worry so much about the shadows from the sails and everything. Alrighty. I can remember how this thing works. So it looks like latitude 24 and then longitude maybe 20? Looks more like maybe longitude 19. Yeah, then latitude like 25, give or take. I guess there's one way I can easily check the latitude, though. It is with the sun compass. According to this, we're more still at 24. Okay. So on that note, let's see here. So latitude 24. And what was the longitude? It's honestly kind of hard to tell. Longitude like 25? 26? Well, in that case, I'm actually aiming for longitude 24. I'm aiming for longitude 24, latitude 29. So maybe it would actually be better to start turning not directly north, but far enough north that I won't overshoot in terms of longitude. Because if we're at like 25, 26 longitude and latitude 24, that puts us roughly about halfway. But here lately, I've been having good winds, so knock on wood, it stays like this. Oh, whoa, hang on. We have things happening. Okay, let's see here. 12 items in this crate. Oh, I didn't lower down all the sails. No wonder. Okay, well, let's see. I know I saw other, like, more stuff out here. Sulfur? Ah, but the ships are getting so far away now. Here we go. Okay, let's go and turn on the lights so we can actually... Is it gonna matter? It might not matter in the end, because I don't think I'm gonna be able to find my way back to anything else, so... I mean, I guess I could just, like... sleep throughout the night and see what happens then, but I don't think anything is really going to matter in the end. Oh, and I still have, like, nothing but wine in this bottle. Okay, well, I guess let's give it a shot. Okay, the sun is indeed rising. The question is anything still going to be out there? I guess I'll jump over here and find out. I don't see anything. It either despawned or we drifted so far away that it's no longer visible. I guess I can climb up on top of the crow's nest and look around with the spyglass, though, but I'm not going to hold out any hope. Let's see here. Nope. Anything that was on board that shipwreck is pretty much gone forever now. Kind of a shame, but I didn't see it until the very last second. They kind of sneak up on you. Pretty much out of nowhere. Alright, let's just continue on back on our way, I suppose. They should be catching wind. This barrel is almost out of water. You know what? I meant to do a star reading last night, then I completely forgot about it because I got a little distracted by, you know, all the goodies floating around. But bare minimum, we got some sulfur among some other stuff. Let's see. So what's in this? It's just fishing hooks. Well, they might come in handy, you never know, I suppose. I was hoping it'd at least be like tobacco or something. Right, how are we doing in terms of... there is no wind, is how we are doing in terms of wind. Come on. This group of barrels is almost out of water, but I've still got everything down below deck. Like, all those 6 barrels over there are nothing but water, and all this over here is alcohol. I've still got plenty of food and drink to last me for a while. Right, well, I guess I'll see you guys here in a little bit whenever something else just kind of happens to pop along. Alrighty, folks, I think it's time to take another reading to try and figure out where the heck we are. So, start off with the sun compass. Apparently, we are still only at latitude 24. Which probably means we've gone a bit further than we should have in terms of longitude. Let's see. 25 longitude? 25, 24. So basically, I just need to be heading straight north from this point on. I cannot really afford to go any further to the west. So we're going to be heading north for several hundred miles for a while, so unless we come across another shipwreck or something, I don't know what else to show off. Because it's going to take several hours from here on out. This is why I don't stream this game, by the way, unless I'm doing like a island hopping, like, you know, just doing the archipelago stuff. I don't really do streaming because there's nothing really to do in a stream whenever all this is going on, because it would be extremely boring to watch. I don't know, maybe one day we'll kind of consider doing a live stream series, but that'll definitely be more of a vanilla game kind of playthrough, I guess. Wait a minute. What is that? Would those possibly be the Dragon Cliffs? Or am I actually about to reach kind of looks like it'd be the Dragon Cliffs. So far, I don't see any other islands. Well, we found something. No idea if it's going to be what I'm looking for, but you hush. Yeah. No idea if that's actually going to be what I'm looking for, but we're going to find out, I suppose. The closer we get, the more confidence I'll have in saying whether or not it's the Dragon Cliffs, or if it's where I'm actually trying to get to. I'm pretty sure it's going to be the Dragon Cliffs, though, because I'm not that far north. I'm only at, like, 26 latitude. Sploosh. Actually, how much time do we have remaining for these missions? We still have 31 days. We're fine. So I've been out at sea for like 10 days now, give or take. So a little over a week. That was a very big splash. What the heck is happening back here? No idea. Well, as we're going by the Dragon Cliffs, I'll at least take note of where I am in terms of latitude and longitude. Though I don't think I'll be stopping. There's ultimately no point. Just in case this guy decides he wants to, like, crash into my ship, I'm gonna save. And I'm also going to go ahead and kind of angle the ship in the direction I need to go in order to avoid hitting this landmass up here. That's got to be the Dragon Cliffs. There's no way I just happen to come across the Firefish Lagoon just out of sheer chance. I'm not even in the right longitude, I don't think. But there's a good chance I could be wrong, I suppose. It's been a while since I've actually had to use the chrono compass. It's been a while, so I'm a little rusty with it. Okay, with the stars coming out, I can actually see where we are in terms of latitude, so we're only at latitude 26. Right? Latitude 26. Yeah. And maybe I'm just misremembering. No, 29. There's no way we're seeing this 300 miles away. Problem is, I don't see anything else out here. And the islands in the Emerald Archipelago that belong to the Dragon Cliffs, they're not small, but they're not as big as the ones in Astron. Interesting. You know, I'm actually starting to wonder if this is actually part of the Firefish Lagoon. And all of the settlements have actually just been scattered around. But each of the settlements has just such a huge landmass connected to it. I don't know. Because right now I'm not seeing anything else. But I am going to turn more over to here. Because I think I'd build up more speed like this. Provided we can actually make the turn. I might have to reel this up. Come on. Whoa, that was a drop. Okay, why are you constantly making that sound? Okay, here we go. All right, I'll see you guys whenever we get a bit closer. Okay, well, we're definitely closer. Is this Cassia Bay? This might actually be Cassia Bay. How long is this video going on now? An hour and a half, well, an hour and 20 minutes. Okay, we're definitely within the Firefish Lagoon's region. And I'm thinking this is either going to be Cassia Bay. I don't think it'd be Cena. It's not going to be the Firefish Town because we're too far south. maybe Ona? I'm trying to remember where that giant rock fixture is. Wait. I think this might actually be Ona. You know, I see sand over there. That's the wrong tool. Yeah, there's sand right over there. You probably can't see it on the video, but right there in the middle of the spyglass is a sandbank. And if I had to guess, the town is actually going to be over there. This might actually be Cena. It's going to be Ona or Cena. I don't think it's Cassia Bay. Because I recognize this rock over here as the rock that separates Ona from Cena. Can we see anything else in the distance? It's going to be too hazy. I could have swore I saw something, though. I guess I should have sailed around that side, but there's no way for me to know what this place was. Uh-oh. I don't know if I want to go off course or not, because the wind is blowing from that direction. And really, aside from knowing what town that is, there's really no reason to go over there. I suppose I could put some provisions on the cog and weigh anchor. No, weigh anchor is pull it up, isn't it? If I'm gonna go there, I need to just make up my mind. I really just kind of feel like there's no point. I really do. Now, I suppose what I can do is I can actually kind of turn the boat in this direction. And then maybe there will be a chance that we can actually see the town as we're going by. Or I might even be able to find myself in shallow enough waters I can actually drop anchor and scout around with that thing. We'll just do away with that constant flapping noise for a while, shall we? It was starting to drive me nuts. It's surely not you causing that. You know what? I might actually have a good enough angle here where I can actually turn into the wind. If I can pull off this maneuver, then yeah, we'll sail through the island and see what all is waiting for us. It's not like I don't have enough provisions and I don't have enough time, so I've still got like 30 days. Alright, but considering how strong the winds are blowing, let's go ahead and angle out the sails a bit. Get you nice and tightened up, and we can raise this up again. Oh, yes, I also sent an email to Colonel Failure, of all people, to recommend that he check this game out, just in case no one else ever has. No word from him yet, though. I guess we'll see if he ever does respond. Though I have a suspicion that these emails that I'm sending to some of these larger content creators are actually just going straight to their junk mail, and they might not be seeing them. Yes, there's a few people I messaged. Of course, a lot of these other content creators, they have such massive channels that they probably get hundreds, maybe even thousands of emails a day that they have to go through. I should probably actually set up a business email for my channel as well, instead of it being my personal email. You know, honestly, if anything else, this might be a decent area to just kind of take some shelter from the open ocean. Is anybody else seeing that? Or am I going crazy? Like, it seems like the islands bounce up and down the closer that you get to them. It's very strange. Yeah, I recognize the sandbank. That's the sandbank that you go by to get into the lagoon itself after you go by Ona and Sina. But with this much landmass, this might be both of them. Oh, crap. Oh, no! No, 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 no. Where's... There it is. Okay. Lower you down. Lower you down. Of course, the issue I'm facing now is that the predominant winds are blowing from that entrance. With as much wind as blowing, you'd think there'd be like a gale or something coming in. Or some kind of storm or something. For whatever reason, this brings up memories of that dream I had like a few years back. I'm not going to talk about it because I've talked about it so much, but this is definitely bringing back vibes from that dream. It was a dream that was almost a nightmare in some ways. It was weird. You ever have one of those? Like, it starts off as a dream, but then it turns into a nightmare? Alright, I might need to have the lanterns on for this bit. Okay, we are still turning. Oh, now the storm's coming in. Thankfully, I'm in a nice protected area. In fact, it might actually be worth just dropping anchor here. I want to see where I am, darn it. Oh. Well, hopefully the cog doesn't take too much damage. I didn't even think about that. Okay, that's the storm over there. Okay, you know what? We'll just drop anchor. And we'll wait out the storm until morning. Because I have a feeling we might need to assess the damage on board the cog over there. I didn't even think about her, like, potentially crashing into the island as we went through it. Well, the storm is still raging, but we're in safe enough waters. I don't really feel afraid to come over here and just assess the damage on board the cog, see if she's taken any. As far as I can tell, she still seems to be in good health. You know what? I am gonna scout ahead Because if memory serves right, over here somewhere should be Cena. Yeah, there's a tree right here, and trees usually mean land. Yes! Ha-ha! We have found Cena. Dude? You, I hope you have, like, waterproof paper, because this is... That's bad. Okay, so he's got some events for us. Festival in Old Ankh Town. Missed wine delivery in Fort Astron. I'm not going back there for a while, so they're just kind of out of luck. Alright, well, you know what? Since I'm here, and I suspect I'll probably be staying here for a little bit, because I want to wait out the storm. Okay, it doesn't look like any of the vendors are still open. What? Oh, I think this person sells potions. That's what the pink smoke is about. Purple smoke, pink smoke. Looks more purple to me. You know what? Since it's daytime, can I actually maybe find an inn? Just to confirm if this town has one or not. It's a gazebo over there. Okay, well the market's open again. Let's see what potions they have for sale. Snake oil, energy elixir, whimsy water. That's expensive. At the moment, though, I can't really buy anything because I don't have the right currency. I don't suppose he has a currency box. God, listen to that wind. Okay, well, the storm is over at least. Hello. Okay, yeah, I don't have the reputation needed, and he doesn't have a currency box for me to buy anything, so... Yeah. There's not really much I can do here. I suppose I could sell some stuff to him, but... This was not my destination. So I guess let's get back underway. Oh yeah, we're running out of thirst quick. Not to worry, we'll make it to the ship before we run out. I hope. Okay. Right. The wind is blowing that way, so I think it would be better to go and turn the steering wheel, which it was already turned. Fancy. All right. Well, we know where Cena is now. It's here. Well, actually, it's over there, but, you know. It's like latitude 25 or 26. But we still have a ways to go before we reach our destination, so... And truth be told... I probably could just start heading more to the northwest. But now the wind is blowing from the north, so I have to go this direction regardless. But I can probably get a little bit closer to the wind, though. Let's aim for 325. All right, how much more water did we get? We only got one increase out of water from that storm that came through. Kind of unfortunate, but there's not really much you can do about it. Alright, yeah, that should be fine. Alright, I'll see you guys whenever we come across another landmass, I suppose. Hang on a second. There's another island over there. I guess we'll start making way for that island. And see what that place is. Oh, that's the moon. I thought that was smoke there for a second. Will you calm down back there? Good grief. Alright, so where was this island again? We were almost heading right for it. In fact, we kind of more or less are heading right for it, so... I thought there for a split second I saw another one sticking up out of the ocean again. Well, I guess I'll see you guys whenever we get closer to this one over here. It's just going to take me a while to get over there as well. You know, I don't think I really even need to find the town to know what this is. I'm pretty sure this is going to be Ona. And then there's that area up there. And I think, truth be told, I'd rather be heading over there. So, yeah. We'll just mark this up as Ona. Now we'll start making our way over to this area over here. Wherever the heck it went. There it is. Right. You know what? I'll just keep the sails like this for the time being. And I'll stay up here to scan the horizon. Because that might actually be our destination. I would laugh if that turns out to not be Ona, and it turns out to be Cassia Bay or something. But I'm pretty sure that's going to be Ona. Which pretty much only leaves this to either be Cassia Bay or Firefish Town. Well, I'll see you guys when I get closer. Alrighty, folks. That up there is going to be the final island of the Firefish Lagoon area. So that over there is Sina. That over there is going to be Ona. Then one of these two is going to be our destination. I'm going to assume that area up there is going to be our destination, but this one has a very good possibility of being it as well. So we'll see which one is which. For me, it'll probably be like another hour and a half or so, but for you guys, it'll probably just be a couple of moments. So I'll see you guys then. You know, I don't know if I've ever seen this before. if we watch over here, there's going to be lightning strikes, but there's no storm. Now watch, now that I started recording again, it won't be that way. I swear to you, I saw lightning strikes over here, but no storm. Naturally. I pressed the record button to try and capture something cool, and then it just stops. The game made a liar out of me. How dare it? Alright, well... I have half a mind to say this is going to be Cassia Bay. Because if I check the Northern Star, if I can... Yeah, we're only at 28. I hear a whale again. Unless that was... Surely not. I guess I could stop here and take a look-see at the Jong. Because I do want to get that ship. And you know what? I'm actually going to climb up here so we can get a better vantage point. A vantage point of nothing by the looks of things. Can I still see the... Yeah, there's Ona all the way back there. And then... somewhere out there is going to be Sina. Alright, so what is this going to be? Place your bets, everybody. You know what? This might actually be... I recognize this channel here. I think that's a channel. Or maybe it's not. It looks like there should be a pathway between those rocks. Or not a pathway, but a waterway. Would you like to rise up a bit faster? Oh, whoop. That's not what I wanted to do. That is so weird. Why do you keep bobbing up and down like you're a fish angler or something? What do you call those fishing attachments? It's been probably 2 decades at this point since the last time I went fishing. Probably even longer than that. So I do not remember hardly anything about what the lures are, but those white and red balls that just kind of bob on top of the water, Like, what are those things even called? They almost look like Pokeballs. This is either going to be... Well, I mean, we already know what the options for this place are. I think I want to get some speed up here. Okay, but I should probably loosen the sails out at least a bit before we start taking on too much water. Still not an easy way of determining where we actually are. I want to say this is Cassia Bay, but this could very well be the Firefish Town. It's so weird seeing these massive islands and not knowing what they actually are. And another question is this all just one big chain, or did these islands just happen to be like really close to each other? So far, I still see like no signs of trees or anything. We might have to actually kind of zigzag our way through here. Because of the way these islands just kind of happen to spawn into the game, this is probably going to turn out to be a pretty decently long episode at this point. Oh god, yeah, I'm already going on for like over 2 hours, but... Some people like the longer episodes, so I guess you guys are going to get your money's worth out of this one. See, which way is the wind actually blowing from? It is technically... I could make the turn and start heading up this channel here. In fact, that might be the wiser thing to do. All right. Let's loosen you completely. Let's also go and loosen you.
Okay, we can go ahead and loosen you out again. It's about there-ish, I think. Or maybe that happened to be a bit too extreme. Okay, let's climb back up here. And just continue scanning the horizon for anything that happens to pop out at us. I think you could probably do with being a bit tighter. Watch there not be anything on this island and I'm just wasting time. Like, this is just an extension of that landmass over there. But surely there's going to be something here, right? I mean, surely. Is there anything of interest over there? It's too far away for me to be able to tell. Sure is taking a while to get around this part of the island, isn't it? Jump cut. Oh, hello. That is a tree. That is a tree. I think this is Cassia Bay, and if this is Cassia Bay and that's Firefish Town, then there's really no point in me going here now and then going over there later. Because I'd like to get the Jong sooner rather than later. And yeah, I know I could just kind of like transfer my stuff from this ship over to the Jong, but it'd be more work than I really want to do. On top of that, I need to experiment around with the Jong before I start doing anything too crazy with it. Okay, yeah, this is definitely Cassia Bay. Or? Yeah, because I can see the mass of the Jong over there. We'll be coming back for you, probably in the next episode. Or I might just come back over here off screen, I don't know. Either way, we will be coming back for you. Great, so now I gotta figure out which part of this entire freaking landmass houses Firefish Town. And you know what's funny is I still have no idea where the Dragon Cliffs are. And I was kind of hoping that the Firefish Lagoon wouldn't be like this. I was really hoping that the islands would be all, or like the towns would be all mixed around or something. Instead, we just got a bunch of more randomized islands. It's kind of disappointing for what I had my hopes up for, but oh well. It is what it is, I suppose. Well, now comes the fun part of figuring out where we need to go over here. Jump. Cut. Can't help but notice that the ship has taken on a little bit of damage, so let's go ahead and fix her up a bit. She probably took some damage just from, you know, rough seas and whatnot. Probably put strain on the hull. Right, so where the heck are we going to try and go now? I could try and sail up there. Or I could just try and go around. The thing about the Firefish Town is that it's not exactly the easiest place to get into with the brig. It has two separate docks. There's one that's a bit easier to navigate with the brig, but then there's another one that's not very brig-friendly. I think that area right there is actually where I want to go. But if I go down that path, I'm pretty sure that leads me to the area I don't want to go. Alternatively, around this bit right here might be where I want to go as well. It's so weird, not knowing exactly where you are in terms of fate, in terms of being in face with the island. Come to think of it, I don't know if I've ever really actually approached Firefish Town from the outside. If I've done it, I've only done it like a small handful of times, because I don't remember, like, ever approaching Firefish Town from the outside. It was always from the lagoon itself. Because typically, whenever I approach
the Firefish Lagoon, I typically always approach from Ona or Sina. And then I go into the lagoon itself. I stop by Cassia Bay, and then from there, I make my way to Firefish Town. And then typically what I'll do is I'll actually exit the lagoon from there. All right, well, I'll see you guys whenever I actually figure out where the devil I am in terms of location to Firefish Town. Wait a minute. What is that? What? Well, that's Cassia Bay over there. This surely is Firefish Town, right? The wind is not blowing here for like the first time in like forever today. The wind decided it wanted to stop blowing, which is very weird. I just now realized I actually have a lantern up here. It's left over from whenever I had that crow's nest. Weird. Yeah, hopefully the wind picks up sooner or later because I'm kind of ready to end this video. I'm not gonna lie. I guess I could swim over there and just kind of take a look-see around. See what all's happening. Surely, sooner or later, this thing will, like, the wind will pick up again, right? Surely. Okay, I am pretty sure I'm seeing trees. So that would definitely indicate that Firefish Town is over here. So, what is that? At first I started to wonder if this is just like the landmass of the lagoon itself. But like that over there was Firefish Town, but no. That over there is something else entirely. And whatever it is, it's freaking huge. And I have no idea what that is. It's not the right shape to be either the Dragon Cliffs or Gold Rock City. What was that island that had the hot springs on top of it in the Dragon Cliff area? Maybe that's what it is. Because I remember that island being pretty decent sized. I don't know. No idea. Unless, considering the fact that
technically speaking, what is... Random. Unless, technically speaking, the Dragoncliff Islands and the Firefish Lagoon are technically counted as the exact same thing. Like, the Firefish Lagoon is just an extension of the Dragoncliffs. I don't see another reason why they, like, all the islands would be clustered together. And the Gold Rock City and Oasis are not that far away from here either. Like, they're only a couple of squares to the west. I think they're a bit further north, but not by much. Okay, I kind of feel like I should probably bring you in a little bit closer for this. If I can. Let's turn on all of our lanterns here real quick. I don't think that's a dock that the brig can dock at. All right, let's see how this works out here. It looks like the cog is actually smart enough to stop, or the mod is smart enough to actually like make the cog stop before it crashes into land. But there's where I'm going to be docking, right up there. And naturally, the wind dies as soon as I get close. Because why would it not? There must be some kind of glitch or something with the mod that changes how the wind behaves. Because while I was doing the ocean crossing,
the wind hardly ever died down at all whatsoever. There must be something to do with the capital cities that makes the wind die down, because up until I got to around here, I never had any problems. It was only leaving the Eastern region and coming to this particular town that the wind started acting weird. So there must be something going on with the capital cities. So I'm just going to get out and push. Because I started this at like 8 o'clock. Or not 8 o'clock, good lord. I started this at 1 o'clock. And it's already 9:10 in the evening. Which is exactly why I don't do live streams of this game. Because it takes literal hours to get anywhere. Of course, we also had some difficulty at the very beginning, whenever we were leaving the Eastern region. But with the issues with the wind aside, this has been pretty fun. I've really enjoyed it. We haven't really had that many issues. And once I got away from the other islands, I didn't really encounter that many problems out on the ocean. Like, I think I encountered like 1, maybe 2 storms, and there was 1 shipwreck. Well, technically there were 2, but the other one was spawning in like so far away I couldn't do anything about it. Because I wasn't going to turn the brig around and go and look for scraps that may or may not have been worth anything. I remember in the first episode, I actually found that first shipwreck, and I got a bunch of food from it. That probably saved my neck in the early episodes. Of course, now I've got so much money, I can literally buy anything that I want. All right. Let's grab you, put you there. I don't know why you're saying that's the fastest time whenever it's the first time. What am I doing? I'm looking for this. Right, you know what? I'm actually going to drink some water and sleep until daytime. That crate is empty. I think my water is actually up here. Okay, let's go ahead and turn off the lantern so we're not wasting any more oil. And I'll see you guys at dawn. All right, good morning, everybody. Tell you what, let's actually go ahead and grab our first mission while we're making our way back to the dock.
Oh yeah, I can't I can't buy anything yet because I don't have the right type of currency. Update events, sure. There you go. Okay, so what's going on now? Storm, of course, all of the cool stuff is happening while I'm away. Storm damage and east wind ends in 6 days. There's no way I could get there even if I wanted to do that. Alright, so how much money do I have now from this? A decent bit. There you go. Give me one of your oranges, please, and thank you. 40 emeralds for an orange. These must be from some pretty juicy oranges. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to hire the cart. Sir or madam, I require your services. You are indeed a sir. All right. We are about to make some serious bank with this. Let's see here. Let's put down some tools. Let's put down some goods. Put down more tools. Put down more goods. Tools, goods, 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 more goods, tools, more tools, goods, goods, and more tools. Oh, you know what? I forgot to lay down the sulfur. Just going to get rid of all the trade goods first. There's that. Wow, I'm already up to almost 100,000 emerald dragons. Good lord. Sorry about that pause. I had to sneeze all of a sudden. It came out of nowhere and without mercy. Let's see here. There you go, and there you go. Did that bring me up to... Okay, you know what? Admittedly, 98,000 even? What are the odds of that? You don't have a currency exchange, which I suppose is fine. Although, what is my current reputation at now? I guess I could take some silk. I'm going to be going back to Cassia Bay regardless. Let's see here. Reputation is... Wow. I'm already up to 13,000 reputation. Right, well, you know what, ladies and gentlemen? This is going to be where I call it a video, so thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, leave a comment. If you want to see more content from me, consider subscribing for future videos. And until next time, guys, God bless, take care of yourselves, I will see you in the next video. Until then, this is your captain, signing out.